Hi, guys. Aaron Dorr here with an update for gun owners on H.R. 4350. This is the National Defense Authorization Act, the budget bill for the U.S. military for fiscal year 2022. This is a multi-thousand-page long bill, as you could perhaps imagine, and it's considered a must-pass bill for obvious reasons in Washington, D.C. Now, many times this bill passes without much fanfare, even though massive amounts of money are spent. But this year, we have a major fight shaping up in the Senate because what Nancy Pelosi has done in the House is attached red flag gun seizure laws into this bill. So, guys, if you have no time today, trust me, I get it. Take a moment, hit the link above this video, and talk to your senators via those petitions right now and tell them if H.R. 4350 advances with red flags, you better vote no, or I will hold you accountable at the ballot box. If you have no time for anything else, hit that link, sign your petition, and make your voice heard. If you have time for the backstory, I promise you, it's going to make your blood boil. See, what's going on here is Pelosi wants to pass red flag laws at the national level. We all know that. But right now, she doesn't have the votes in Congress to get that done. And so what she's trying to do is figure out which of these Republicans in D.C. are going to actually hold the line and be a no vote no matter what on red flag laws, and which ones are weak enough and dumb enough, frankly, to vote for red flags if I put it in a military funding bill. And that's exactly what she has done. By placing red flags into H.R. 4350, she's allowing herself, but also all of us, everybody, to figure out who is actually going to fight like hell against red flags and who is going to collapse under the pressure. Because it's really not that hard. If you are a Republican moderate right now and you're trying to decide, should I give Pelosi what she wants or should I be a no vote because it's the right thing to do, all you have to do is get up on the floor and say, Madam Speaker, this is ridiculous and disgusting that you would hold our military and then, by extension, our national security hostage with this garbage. For you to put red flag gun seizures into this bill and hold our country hostage is absolutely disgusting, and you should be ashamed of yourself. I would never vote for a red flag gun seizure law under normal conditions. But for you to use this as a weapon against our own military is absolutely unforgivable, and I would never, under any circumstances, vote for this trash. And sit down and vote no and keep your conscience clear. You see, it's just that simple. It's that simple. But instead, a whole bunch of Republican moderates voted yes on this garbage when it passed out of the House about 2 months ago. If you're watching in Iowa, Cindy Axne was a yes vote. That's not a surprise. Radical leftist, no big deal. But so did Randy Feenstra. And so did Ashley Hinson. And so did Marionette Miller-Meeks. If you're watching in Wyoming, perhaps no big surprise, Liz Cheney voted yes to put red flags into our military. Again, no big surprise. She's a Democrat. We all know it. Everyone knows it. But if you're in Missouri right now, you might not know that Congressman Billy Long, who wants to be Senator Billy Long, also voted yes on this garbage, along with Congressman Graves and Hartzler and Lukemire and Wagner. All of them stabbed gun owners in the back. In Georgia, Congressman Allen, Carter, Ferguson, and Austin Scott all voted yes on this legislation. And so what Pelosi has done is pull back the curtain, and she's shown all of us now who is really going to fight for gun owners and who is going to collapse under the pressure. And so we have all of this happening right now. And so what you're being told is that, well, if this passes in its current format, then we're going to fix it in conference committee. Now, what that means is the House passes their version. The Senate has amendments, over 900 amendments, I believe, at last time I checked, and they're going to pass a amended version. And then these two versions kind of go head-to-head in what's called a conference committee, where designees, delegates from the House and Senate come together and they hammer out their differences. But for anybody who's telling you, whether it's your congressman, your senator, or another gun rights organization, to tell you, oh, it's okay, we're going to fix this in conference, is absolutely an idiot who is gambling with the freedoms of this country. Because if red flags stays in the Senate version and red flags already passed in the House version, then the negotiators for Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi have the hot hand. They can then tell people in this negotiation, well, both chambers passed this bill with this language in it. So we might negotiate on money over here and spending over here, but we're going to keep red flags in this bill. And if the moderate Republicans who are gambling on a conference committee salvation are wrong, that's it. And red flags is in the military, and it's one last step prior to a full floor vote on red flags on the entire civilian population. It should make your blood boil. I called one of my good friends this morning who was in the military, and I said, what would happen then to a military member who obviously owns firearms as a military member? What happens to him or her if this passes? And the penalties are not spelled out very clearly, but the options range from an Article 15, which is used for lower tier offenses, or a full court martial. And if you're found guilty in those processes, you might get a dishonorable discharge from the military. In other words, you're unable to buy firearms for life. So, guys, this is going to be attacking our military. This will attack the civilians' freedom when it comes to gun rights. And the fact that it's being advanced by Republicans should make you absolutely enraged. So, if you have a Republican U.S. Senator right now, contact them. It's clear that party affiliation doesn't mean a damn thing right now. We saw that in the House. Tell your senators you better vote no. If you have a Democratic senator, same thing applies. Contact them, tell them to vote no, and remind them, if you don't do this, if you actually vote to put red flags in our military, this will be the final nail, in your political coffin for your conference come November. You're already facing a wipeout election cycle. And if you vote for red flags in the military, your conference will have a minority so small it's going to make you leftist ghouls freak out from coast to coast. So guys, take action right away. This is happening right now. They've been debating on this bill for many, many days. The vote could happen at any time. Sign your petition. Make some phone calls. If you haven't yet renewed your membership, guys, for 2022, please do that right away. We need your help right now. These fights are happening in real time. Please stand with us today. Take care.